up, everyone? It's Michael, aka R.A.T, here with Angels of the Warp at angelsofthewarp.com. Just doing a quick review here of the Cyborg R.A.T7 mouse and the Cyborg MMO7 mouse, and also doing a literally a side-by-side comparison of the two. So, just first and foremost, we'll start with the R.A.T7. So, with the R.A.T7, and actually with all of the R.A.T mouses, one of the premier things about it is the customization. It is nuts. Here we have a swappable pinky rest, palm rest, and adjustable thumb rest with extra buttons here. The pinky rest here is swappable. As you can see, I put on one here that's just rather large, and I can put my pinky and ring finger on there together and just be comfy in my home. On the MMO mouse here, this is what it just comes with, just a standard one right there. And this is what it comes with: 2 extra pinky rest, 2 extra palm rest, and a holder for the weights. The pinky rest that was on the R.A.T7 is just this regular matte finished one there, and the other one that it comes with is the same thing except with a bit of a grip texture on there. Not sure if you can see that. And the same goes for the palm rest as well. This one's pretty much the exact same thing as the one that's on there, as you can see. The only difference is this one's just a little bit raised for those of you with crazy man hands, and this one over here is the same as the pinky rest, just a bit of a grip texture on the top. So yeah, what's really nice though about these palm rests is not only are they swappable, you can also adjust them. So that locks right in right there. So if you've got giant gorilla fucking man hands and you just feel the need to just your mouse and just palm it and just throw it everywhere, you can do that. Put it all the way up there. I personally don't do that, so I've got mine all the way up. We've also got the thumb rest here, which is, it's not swappable, but it's fully adjustable. And by fully adjustable, I mean you can slide this whole bit forward or back just to give you better access to the extra buttons here on the side. And you can also kind of push it out some more away from the mouse or bring it back in. If you notice, you can kind of see the difference here between the way that this is kind of jutting out of it as opposed to the MMO7 that's just flat right against it. On the flip side, or on the bottom here, we also have weights that you can remove or keep in. There's 4 of them. You can put in as many as you want or take out as many as you want. It's spring-loaded here at the top, so it'll be a nice fit regardless of what you do. And on the top here is just the Allen key that is used to adjust everything with. And if you screw off this plastic part underneath it, you can also, that's how you get your weights in and out. Personally, I like to leave everything in there. And then, of course, you've got your standard buttons: left, right, click, your mouse wheel here that goes up and down, and then you've also got your thumb wheel here that goes left and right. You've also got an adjustable DPI button here, or these lights right here. Will show you how sensitive your mouse is or what the DPI is set to. So I can go down or I can go up. This is really nice on the fly in first-person shooters, or if you're editing something on, say, like a timeline or something like that, say in Vegas or Adobe After Effects, and you just really need to make sure you get down to the nitty-gritty and the very specific stuff. We've also got a profile toggle button here. You can save different profiles for different button layouts, different DPIs, and all you need to do is push that. It'll give you a different color light for each one. Also, we've got the thumb buttons. Can't forget about those. If you take a look here, this big glaring red one is, I call it the sniper mode button. What that does is, as you hold it down, it brings your DPI down to whatever you set it to, and then you've also got these 2 other thumb buttons right here as well. That's the R.A.T7. Very cool mouse. Now, the MMO7 is pretty much the exact same thing, other than the obvious aesthetics, all the orange highlights, the LED lights up front, the orange braided cable. With the MMO7, however, we get quite a few more buttons here on the side. If you bother to take a look, right here on the thumb, for example, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buttons here, and then a 6th right there in the middle, and that's by default your quote-unquote sniper mode button, just like on the R.A.T7. What is really cool about this one in the middle, though, is it works almost like a directional pad. You can push it back, forwards, down, up, all that good stuff. And then we've also got the action lock buttons. What these do, they toggle a feature called action lock. Now, the green light, the change in the LED, indicates that you've engaged your action lock and it's ready to go. So, we turn the action lock on, green light means it's good to go, and you left click once, and this blue light indicates that it's, I guess, action locking. And what this does is it basically simulates that you're holding your left click. And you can also do it here on your right click. Now it's simulating that I'm holding right and left click at the same time. So this is a pretty cool feature. Oh, and you can turn them on and off. Now this is a pretty cool feature. I can see how some people would use this for different things in RPGs and MMOs. I personally don't use them, but still very cool. And we've also got another button right there. That guy. There it is. There it is. On the right side. And not to mention, I mean, the LED lights on this are just friggin' cool. I mean, pew, pew, pew. Alright. Now, between these two, as far as the comparison goes, there are some differences between these two that you should be aware of before buying one. And it really just depends on your play style, your comfort level, and all that. They're just really slight differences, but they'll make it or break it for you, basically. One thing is that on the R.A.T7, this DPI button that you can bring the DPI down or up on is awesome. However, on the MMO7, the DPI button is still there, but you are not able to go back and forth. You're only able to go all the way up and all the way down, and then bring it all the way up and all the way down, and stopping in between. So, say in a first-person shooter or something like that, if you need to be moving your DPI around, that might bug you. The other thing, too, I had the R.A.T7 first, and then I got the MMO7. The other thing, too, is if you'll notice here, the thumb rests. The R.A.T7 has the thumb rest all the way out, and I can put it back all the way in. The MMO7, however, doesn't have that functionality at all. Where it sits is where it sits. You can still slide the entire piece forward or back, but you can't have it jut out of the side like the R.A.T7 can. Really, those are the only two big differences between the two. Another small one, just a third small one, is the feedback in clicking. On the R.A.T7, there's a lot more feedback when you left and right click here, which I personally like for first-person shooters. I like to, when I shoot, I want to make sure I know that I'm shooting, whereas the MMO7 does not have nearly as much feedback with your left and right click. So, that's that. Those are the main differences between the two. The MMO7, obviously a great choice for MMOs. I know for World of Warcraft there's actually an add-on that you can get that allows you to just easily map all these extra buttons to whatever the hell you want. Macros, abilities, your bags, the map, your quest log, whatever. It's all there. You can do it. It's really cool. On top of that too, with that add-on, you can map all these buttons, and the profile toggle will also toggle between different profiles in game. So that's cool. The amazing amount of buttons, and on top of that, it just looks really neat, as if the R.A.T7 didn't look cool enough. The R.A.T7, on the other hand, definitely prefer this for first-person shooters, just because of the left and right click feedback and the up and down DPI options. And really, that's the only difference. Otherwise, there really wouldn't be much of a preference. As far as things that are wrong with these go, I've had both of these for about a week now. And really, the only two things that I've noticed are, one, the pinky rest here that's swappable, that's secured by this screw. The screw hole that goes into is really finicky. If you torque down on it too much, right away you're going to strip the hell out of the hole and it'll be unusable. I've actually had to, this isn't the first one I bought, I actually had to go in and exchange one because that happened to me on the first day and I hadn't done anything but unscrewed it. So just be very careful of that. I've already swapped this out and I don't plan on changing it anymore. I thought it was just with the first one, but it's with this one as well, and I've noticed the same thing with the MMO7. Just keep that in mind. And the other thing too, and it's not a problem with the MMO7 because this thumb rest can't move out or back in, but on the R.A.T7, sometimes depending on what's going on, the thumb rest will actually get caught if you're trying to adjust it. I'm not sure if it's the wire that's on the inside that connects these buttons or if it's the palm rest, but the way I usually do it is I take the palm rest off, wiggle it a little bit, and then I'm able to adjust the thumb rest back and forth as much as I like. So that's about it for the side-by-side comparison. Really very solid pieces of equipment. Little expensive, but honestly I think they're worth it. The R.A.T7 goes for about $100. The MMO7 I think for $130. There's also another R.A.T7 out called the R.A.T7 Infection, I believe it is. It's up on Newegg, and it's exactly the same thing as the R.A.T7. The only difference is the finish, instead of a matte finish like you see here, it's more of a high gloss finish. And it's got a whole bunch of the orange highlights that this MMO7 has as well. So really cool looking. I personally prefer the matte finish over the high gloss, so I'm going to stick with this baby right here. Excuse me. And that's about it. Overall, it's really up to you. It really depends, really depends on what sort of game you're looking at primarily playing, whether it be a first-person shooter or an MMO or an RPG or anything like that. Really the biggest thing to take into consideration before buying these is if feedback matters to you or if adjustable DPI matters to you, and if they do, just choose accordingly. So that's going to be it for me. Once again, my name is Michael, aka R.A.T, and I don't really know how to end this video. So I am going to double fist my mouses and just, yeah. Oh, clicking stuff. Alright. Anyway, if you guys have any questions, comments about both of these, or either of these, feel free to post them down in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Or we can just talk shit all day. I already do that. So yeah.